Hey, do you believe this? Most leaders fail for reasons other than a lack of intelligence. They fail not because they lack strategy, experience, or resources. They fail because they inspire absolutely nothing in the people around them. Do you recognize such behavior around you? Look at that empty boardroom. Polished table, empty chairs, silence. That is what weak leadership actually looks like. Not chaos, just emptiness. Now let this hit you hard. If your team won't follow you without a paycheck, you're not a leader. You are just a manager with a title. Read that again. Not a visionary. Not an inspiration. Just someone with a job description and a slightly bigger office, that's all. That is a brutal truth, but it is the truth that separates average managers from extraordinary leaders who build movements inside organizations. The question is not whether you have authority. The question is whether people would choose you. Would they follow your direction, your energy, your vision, even if the salary disappeared tomorrow? That answer defines everything. Now here is where most young managers and executives get completely lost. They step into a leadership role, they get the title, the calendar fills up with meetings, the emails start flowing, and they assume that because people are responding, people are following. But responding is not the same as being inspired. Most people in leadership positions today confuse authority with influence. Authority is positional. It comes with the job. Influence is earned. It lives in the hearts of the people you lead. You can give orders all day. You can run back-to-back meetings. You can send perfectly structured emails with bullet points and deadlines. But if your team wakes up Monday morning feeling no fire, no purpose, no real direction, then your leadership is only working on the surface. And that gap between compliance and genuine inspired action is exactly what this video is going to close for you today. Here is the truth that changes everything. Great leaders do not push people to act. They pull them toward a vision so compelling that action becomes inevitable. And that distinction right there is the missing piece most leaders never find. Simon Sinek built an entire movement around one simple but devastating idea. Start with why. Not what you do, not how you do it, but why it matters at all. Because when people understand the deeper purpose behind their work, something shifts inside them. They stop showing up for a paycheck and start showing up for a cause. Now think about your last boardroom meeting. Did you present a strategy or did you ignite a purpose? Did you share numbers or did you share meaning? Most leaders walk into that room armed with data and leave wondering why nothing changed. The leaders who move organizations forward are not the loudest in the room. They are the ones whose why is so clear, so deeply felt, that the entire room leans in without being asked. Let's talk about the first framework that separates forgettable managers from unforgettable leaders. Clarity of vision. Leaders who inspire action do not simply announce goals. They paint a picture so vivid, so emotionally charged, that their team can see the destination long before the journey even begins. They make the future feel real, urgent, and worth fighting for. Think about Satya Nadella when he stepped into Microsoft as Chief Executive Officer in 2014. The company was stagnant, culturally broken, and losing relevance fast. Nadella did not walk in with spreadsheets. He walked in with a vision, transforming Microsoft from a devices and services company into a cloud-first, mobile-first powerhouse built on a growth mindset. That single clarity of vision mobilized over 200,000 employees and turned a struggling giant into one of the most valuable companies on earth. Vision is not a slide in a deck. It is the heartbeat of every decision your team makes. Now, let us talk about the second framework, and this one might challenge everything you think communication is supposed to be. Data does not move people. Strategy does not move people. Emotion does. Human beings make decisions emotionally first, then use logic to justify what they already felt. Think about the last time you truly committed to something. Was it because of a spreadsheet? Or was it because something inside you said, "This matters"? Great leaders understand this deeply. They speak to the heart before they ever touch the mind. They make their team feel the purpose before they present the plan. Here is your practical tip for your very next team meeting. Before you share any numbers, goals, or updates, open with why it matters to the people in that room. Not to the company. To them, personally. One sentence of genuine emotional relevance will do more than 10 slides of data ever could. Lead with feeling, then follow with facts. Now we arrive at framework point 3, and this one is deeply personal because it lives in your daily behavior, not your words. Lead by example first. Here is a scenario every young manager will recognize. Your team is exhausted, morale is low, and a critical project is falling behind. You have two choices. You can send a motivational email, or you can walk in early, roll up your sleeves, and work alongside them. The moment you choose the second option, something shifts. No announcement needed, no pep talk required. When you show up with energy, your team finds energy. When you own your mistakes, your team stops hiding theirs. When you demonstrate courage, your team stops waiting for permission to be brave. Now we arrive at framework point 4, and this one is deeply human. Create psychological safety. Here is the truth that most leaders miss. People do not take inspired action when they are afraid. Fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of being made an example in front of the team. That fear is silent, but it is absolutely deadly to innovation and initiative. When a leader punishes mistakes, the team stops trying. When a leader celebrates learning from failure, the team starts experimenting, pushing boundaries, and bringing their best ideas forward. So here is your boardroom-ready tip. In your very next one-on-one or team conversation, ask this one question. What did we learn from what did not work? Not who is to blame. What did we learn? That single shift in language tells your team that growth matters more than perfection here. And the moment they believe that, you will see a level of inspired action you have never witnessed before. Now we arrive at framework point 5, and this one is a true game changer for how you see your people. Great leaders are not weakness managers. They are talent multipliers. Most managers spend their energy trying to fix what is broken in their team members. But the most inspiring leaders flip that entirely. They obsessively study what each person does brilliantly, and then they build around that genius. Here is the truth. When someone operates in their zone of genius, they do not need to be pushed. They pull themselves forward naturally, and they bring the entire team with them. So, here is your actionable exercise for this week. Schedule a 10-minute conversation with each team member and ask them one simple question. What part of your work makes you completely lose track of time? Their answer will reveal their genius. Your job as a leader is to give them more of exactly that. Now we arrive at framework point 6, and this one is where so many promising leaders quietly fall apart. Communicate with conviction and consistency. Here is the truth that most leadership books skip over. Inspiration has a shelf life. If you deliver one powerful speech and then go silent or start sending mixed messages, that energy evaporates within days. Your team needs to hear the vision repeatedly. They need to hear the values repeatedly. They need to hear the mission so many times that it stops being your message and starts becoming their identity. Think about the leaders who built iconic cultures. They were relentless communicators, not because they lacked confidence, but because they understood that repetition creates belief. Inconsistency in messaging is one of the top reasons leaders lose credibility in competitive environments. When your words shift with the wind, your team stops trusting your direction entirely. Say it clearly. Say it often. Say it like you mean it every single time. You have just been handed 6 frameworks that can completely transform how your team experiences your leadership. Clarity of vision. Emotional connection. Before logic. Lead by example first. Create psychological safety. Recognize and amplify strengths. Communicate with conviction and consistency. These are not theories sitting in a textbook. These are daily disciplines practiced by the world's most respected leaders. Here is the truth no one tells young managers and executives. Inspiring action is not a gift you are born with. It is a muscle you build through intentional, consistent effort every single day. Right now, your team is watching you. They are deciding whether to follow you with everything they have or simply show up for the paycheck. That decision is shaped by your choices, not theirs. So here is your challenge. Before this week ends, pick one framework, just one, and implement it deliberately. Your team does not need a perfect leader. They need a present, committed, and growing one. That leader is you. Start today. Lock these 6 frameworks into your leadership DNA right now. Clarity of vision. Your team cannot follow a destination they cannot see, so paint it with absolute precision. Emotional connection. Before logic, touch the heart first, and the mind will follow every single time. Lead by example. First, your behavior is your loudest speech, so make it impossible to ignore. Create psychological safety. When people feel safe to fail, they find the courage to fly. Recognize and amplify strengths. Stop managing weaknesses and start multiplying greatness in every single person around you. Communicate with conviction and consistency. Say it once, and it is information. Say it repeatedly, and it becomes identity. These are not just frameworks. These are the 6 pillars of leaders who build movements, not just teams. Screenshot this. Write it down. Tattoo it on your leadership mindset. Because the world does not need more managers. It desperately needs more leaders who inspire. If this video gave you even one insight that can change how you lead tomorrow, then do 3 things right now. First, like this video. That one tap tells us you are serious about becoming the kind of leader people actually choose to follow. Second, save this video so you can come back to these 6 frameworks whenever you need a reset, a reminder, or a recharge. Leadership is not a one-time lesson. It is a daily practice. Third, share this with a fellow manager, leader, or executive who needs to hear this today. The best leaders do not hoard growth. They spread it. And if you are not yet subscribed to the Lead North CXO channel, hit that subscribe button right now. Every single week, we bring you leadership content designed with one purpose, to take you straight to the boardroom and beyond. Your team is waiting for the leader you are becoming. Do not make them wait any longer.